So we've been really inspired by the amazing Wren Church, the qualities of it as a building, as a piece of architecture. What's really lovely about the site at Chelsea is that, as here, it'll have these amazing plane trees as a backdrop, similar sort of height and character, so it'll give the gardens the same quality of dappled shade sitting under trees that we have here, transporting people who come to the show to St James's in their minds, so they have the same sort of feeling of character and sense of place. The Wren project is very much about bringing people into this space, making it more welcoming, more accessible. That is very much setting the context for the show garden.
Being here right in the centre of London has meant that a huge variety of people have been associated with the church over time. Back in the 18th century, the poet William Blake was baptised here. The only female founder of the Royal Academy, Angelica Kaufmann, the artist, she was married here. One that we've celebrated recently was the abolitionist Kwabena Ottobah Cugoano, who was trafficked from West Africa to Grenada and then came to London and wrote an amazingly powerful book. We try to take our cue from the people who have been associated with the church over time, and in recent years that has translated into a church that is really active and interested. The congregation are very actively engaged in issues of equity and equality, social justice, environmental work, and committed to making the world a better place.
Standing here in the middle of St James's, you know, this is the heart of London's West End, surrounded by the most magnificent stores and shops. But you may say, well, the one thing it lacks, of course, as any big city centre does, is a green space, a proper place to sit and reflect and to take yourself out of the bustle. This garden, which is charming enough now, but after it's taken its place at the Chelsea Flower Show, of all things, the first church ever to be granted such an honour, I think we'll see an even more remarkable place. Because this isn't just a green space, it's an active part of the community, as so much of St James's is. There's a counselling service here. People can come in for free, they can be given advice and help if they're under stress or anxious or feel they need a word, a chat. It's a marvellous thing.
Wren had this idea that he wanted clear glass, not stained glass, so that the world could see in and the church could see out. And that's very much about connecting with the communities. The windows, in a sense, were one of the sort of iconic elements of this building. So what we've done is to incorporate one of the windows into the rear wall of our show garden. And the way that the garden is set up at the showground, the public will actually be able to look through the rear of the window as well as from the garden side. So the public will be able to both see in and see out as well.
We're going to restore this garden. We want to make it accessible, step-free access everywhere. We are going to develop the biodiverse planting in the garden, and the flower show garden is really a slice of the new garden. As part of that, the counselling hut has been redesigned, and it will ensure that we're able to do what we do now but with much greater impact.
Wow, Ivan, I mean, we've been looking at this building on paper for such a long time on your amazing drawings.
Yeah, what we have is 8 different cassettes. They're the wall sections that come in between the curving oak frame of the building. Then above that, there's a wall plate and then a gap and then another wall plate. So we have like a window. And then above that, we have the roof then curving upwards, coming to an opening about this wide at the top, but with all the joists curving towards that. On the outside as well, we're going to have a woven lath finish. So light will come in through it as well.
The most wonderful sort of effects of light and shade,
we will,
shadows.
You know, and this is a little bit denser than we began when we've tried out quite a lot of different ways of, you know, cladding this in this lath. We wanted it to still feel enclosed, even though it's not essentially weatherproofed fully. We didn't want to do anything that kind of gets thrown away. Whereas here, it's got a lighter. It's the timber version of the work as well.
Walks lightly on the earth.
It walks lightly on the earth, yeah, you know.
So, I mean, it's the most amazing opportunity, it really is, and we're looking forward to being there ourselves, to sharing the incredible history of this place, but importantly, taking our cue from that history, which is all about creativity and imagination. It's about imagining a new and better future for people, where each has their own dignity, where people from all faiths and none are welcome, and where our interdependence with the natural world is really front and centre of what it means to be human.